So if you're someone who is coming on to an antidepressant, SSRI of some kind, or you know someone who is, this is a great video for you to understand what it's like coming onto the medication and increasing your dosage, the side effects, and particularly how it's going to impact your sex drive and libido. And the third thing I want to explain is just how exactly these meds work with your other mental health practices. So Zoloft and sertraline, Zoloft is the commercial name, sertraline is just the generic name. It's been around for a long time. It is a serotonin uptake. So it increases the serotonin in your body, which is your feel-good chemical, one of 4 primary feel-good chemicals in your body. And when you're depressed or anxious, your serotonin is a lot lower. So when you come onto Zoloft, it increases the levels of serotonin in your body, and it improves your mood, helps relieve any symptoms around impatience, anger issues, sadness, worry, dread, and just should improve quality of life. Psychiatrists will start you off on a very low dose. That's because the way that Zoloft works is you have to take it every day. You need the medication to build up in your system, and it usually takes between 4 to 8, 4 to 10, if needed, weeks to experience results from it. And so here's the crazy thing. When I was put on the 25 mils, I did that for about 2 weeks. Then I went up to 50 for a week, and then went up to 75. And that's where I've been the last 3 weeks or so. Now, what you can expect coming onto this. So the first few days I was on it, I actually had trouble going to sleep. I was definitely worried about my libido. I was worried about, could I get an erection? Could I have sex? Would I be interested in sex? There was some issues with my stomach around appetite and cramps, but it was mostly just fatigue. I would say fatigue was the major side effect there. After a few days, that all went away. And when I moved up to the 50, this was about 2 weeks in, the day I moved up, I had just finished lunch and I experienced a really intense cramping and stomach hurt. And that's because when you ingest these pills, the serotonin production is actually happening in your gut. So it can upset your stomach and your digestive system. And it actually really hurt. So I took some Tylenol. I called my friend who's a therapist. I was like, is this normal? He said yes. If it doesn't go away in a couple days, call your psychiatrist. Didn't have any other issues the rest of the time. And there were no side effects when I went up to the 75. So those initial few weeks could have some side effects for you. Some cramping, some physical nausea, perhaps some fatigue, some inability to sleep. I was having trouble falling asleep and staying asleep. I was waking up at 3, 4, 5 in the morning for about 5 weeks. And then when I went on this, it actually stopped. So the light sleep at the front end, making it a little harder to sleep at some nights, actually allowed me to sleep throughout the night. And then after a few days, my sleep completely changed. So that was awesome. Now that I'm at the 75s, here's what I'm experiencing. Great elevated mood. My patience is much higher with people. I have a lot more compassion for myself. I speak kinder to myself. But I think one of the other things that happened is, well, I did 2 things. I got social media off my phone, which was really helpful. So kind of did a little dopamine detox. I also stopped drinking and smoking marijuana, THC marijuana, and doing any other types of drugs. So going sober the whole time. So for about, and this is still the case, about 7 weeks of sobriety. And that allowed me to really understand what the chemicals were doing in my body, what was actually affecting my mood and my symptoms by isolating that. And I gotta tell you, outside of some of the need to go out, be with people, socialize, have a drink, have a joint, that has actually calmed down. I don't feel that impulse anymore. I've got water, I've got CBD, I've got fun drinks, I've got good food to eat, I've got Red Bull, so I'm able to still socialize. And it's been very good. In terms of side effects, you know, there's been a little adjustment to appetite. I actually get fuller quicker now. So I really need to make sure that I'm eating enough calories throughout the day, that I'm getting plenty of water. So being a lot more mindful of my nutrition, or else I'll feel a little more fatigue. But no drowsiness of any kind. The biggest thing was, how is this going to impact my libido, my sexual desires, impulses, and capabilities? Which is very important for someone who just started an OnlyFans. And I was talking to a female friend who was on Zoloft earlier this year, and she said it was very hard for her to get aroused. It was very hard for her to have sexual impulses while on it. So she actually went off. I have not experienced any of those problems. So, you know, thank the grand universe and spirits and ancestors and whatever, because that's been a blessing. No issues with getting up, no issues with lasting longer, no issues with having impulses. And it is the happy pill, you know, it increases your serotonin, but the pill alone isn't going to do the trick. We still need to care about our whole selves, not just our chemical imbalances. Putting in the right practices made a huge amount of difference in how it was going first couple weeks to how it's going now. Having a regular yoga asana and meditation routine to get tension out of my body, to create a more serene mind, has been really, really helpful. Making sure that I'm not over caffeinated, taking time to relax, you know, get a massage, lie outside, be in nature, eating nutritious foods. The idea that I can just take a Zoloft and everything will be okay is not really what needs to happen. I've been in therapy the last year and a half, and so I learned a lot of body-based therapeutic techniques, whether it was tapping, breathing, scripting, even singing in certain points. So you're still going to experience flare-ups, anxious and depressive flare-ups. They're going to happen. So you need to have other resources, whether it's body-based, mind-based, whatever you're doing, to give yourself the right release valve while you're on Zoloft, because it's not a silver bullet in and of itself. You need other things. Over time, all those episodes and flare-ups become a lot rarer. And in fact, I haven't really had an anxious episode. I think I had one in the last week or last month. So that's been really cool. And I have noticed a huge difference in my mood, my momentum, my energy, and especially while traveling, it, as I said before, a really great stabilizer. So that is the Zoloft story. I hope this video has helped answer some questions about what you can experience, what it's like, and hopefully dispel some worries. But do let me know in the comments what it's been like for you, or what questions you might have. If you still are curious about what it is coming on to Zoloft or sertraline, I'd be happy to answer and respond. As always, thank you. Have a blessed day.